What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with a little video about Overwatch, and was able to take part in the free Overwatch weekend and have some thoughts about the game. It was pretty nice of Blizzard to do this, I thought. Let people come in and play pretty much the full game and see if they liked it. There were 3 days. It ran from, I believe, Friday to Monday, and about three full days to try the game out if you were maybe on the fence about picking it up. And that's pretty much one of the reasons I wanted to check it out. This was a game I had been considering for a while when it came out, but after seeing a lot of the initial reviews on it and just seeing the kind of content that was in it, it didn't feel like a game to me that I would want to spend full price $60 on. And unfortunately, I still do kind of have that opinion of it. However, I did really enjoy some of the time I spent with Overwatch, and I think they've got a pretty neat little game here, and there's a lot of really cool things about it. So just to start off, I really thought it was neat the way they did all these characters. The characters are just great. They're just very well designed. This feels more like it should have been an RPG or an MMO with the way the characters are set up and the way they have so much background lore and how they interact with each other. That was kind of a neat thing too when you're in a match. If you got different characters walking around with each other, they will say different things and interact with each other, and it's really pretty cool. But it makes me kind of ask, what if? You know, if this was supposed to be Blizzard's Project Titan, which was going to be this big sci-fi RPG MMO type deal, I really kind of wish we had that game instead, because Overwatch's characters kind of lend themselves to that type of game. Like, I'd love to play like a Final Fantasy type game with all these characters as my party. I think it would just be fantastic. And just a really great job with the character development overall. And the character designs by Blizzard. Just awesome job on that. The graphics and visuals look pretty good. A lot of people might say as though it's cartoony, it's not like, you know, super realistic, but I think it works for the game and the type of game that it is. And overall, the game runs very smoothly, looks really good, very colorful, very vivid. And same thing with the characters. The characters have a lot of different colors, a lot of neat little color palettes. I didn't really experiment too much with the skins or any of the other systems, because I just really didn't have time. I wanted to spend a lot of time with the gameplay, just playing Overwatch. And the music is also great. I love the way the music will pick up and be all dramatic at parts of the matches. It's really kind of cool. Kind of gives you a little bit of a, you know, a unique feeling, an epic feeling to the game when you're closing out a close match. But that aside, you know, the gameplay, while I found it pretty smooth and pretty good, it just gets really super repetitive. Which is something I'm not a massive fan of these days, especially with games like No Man's Sky out there, where everything is you're just doing the same thing over and over again. And with Overwatch, I just didn't feel like, one, there were enough game modes really, at least not from what I played, and just didn't feel like there was enough to do. You know, I'm not one of those people who supports these multiplayer only games. I really miss the fact there's really no kind of story or campaign. And like I said at the start of the video, seeing the amount of depth and background that goes into making some of these characters, this is a game I really feel like, it's like, man, it'd be awesome if there was some kind of single player or campaign or even like a story mode PvP or something, because this game really seems like it would lend itself well to that. And that's really one of the reasons I'm still pretty much on the fence about picking up the game, is because like I said, it got very repetitive and very boring for me very quickly. So, you know, I could play for a couple hours, an hour or two here or there, and then just had to put it down for a while. And the other thing, too, and I'm going to attribute this mostly to the fact this was a free weekend and there were a ton of people probably on the game playing, was that I just kept getting on the worst teams ever. Now, I'm an objective guy. I love playing objective PvP. It's one of the reasons I thought I would like Overwatch. You know, my history with PvP games on console and PC has mostly been Battlefield, which I love to play Conquest. Call of Duty, I was always a big domination guy. In Warcraft, I just love playing the Battlegrounds. Same thing in Star Wars The Old Republic before they kind of changed the PvP around. I used to love playing the Battleground type PvP they had where you had to capture objectives. It's always been one of my favorite aspects of PvP. Even in Destiny, I like to play Control and Salvage. Those are two of my favorite game modes. But here, it was like almost everybody is in a team deathmatch game, and they didn't tell you about it. And that really was really frustrating. And like I said, I'm going to blame that mostly on the huge influx of players that probably came in to try the free weekend. Probably a bunch of people from Call of Duty and other first-person shooters probably decided to come try Overwatch just to see if it's something they liked. and just had that issue constantly. I got on a couple really good teams who played the objective, but for the most part, everybody was just running around, you know, trying to get kills, and that's really all they were focusing on. And that kind of made it a little bit annoying, and it was really funny because every time we'd have the title select screen for the match, you'd see, you know, it shows you your team balance and everybody's picking characters, and it was always like, oh, you guys don't have any healers, you guys don't have any tanks, you guys don't have any defensive players. Everybody would just play, you know, the DPS characters, and then our team would get absolutely smashed. So I started trying Reinhardt, who's a tank, and I actually had a lot of fun playing him. He's pretty cool. He's like this giant robotic knight guy with this huge hammer and just smashes people. And I had a lot of fun playing the tank, but the problem was no one on my team would support me. I had a couple games where I got lucky and I had a healer who would actually follow me around, and the two of us would kind of double team the objectives, and they'd keep me alive, and I'd smash people, and we won. But most of the time I was by myself going like 1-on-4 against the other team, and that was no good. That doesn't really work out very well. And people would sneak up behind me and kill me, and, you know, just overall it was very, I don't know, mixed bag of gameplay, really. My favorite character that I used was actually Genji. He's pretty cool. He's like this cyborg ninja guy. He throws these throwing stars, and he was a lot of fun to play. But I didn't get to play him as much as I wanted to because, sadly, every single match everyone was picking DPS, and I wanted to, you know, try to have a good team, so I would switch up and play a healer or a tank, you know, just to kind of mix it up a little bit and try to be the team player. But, you know, I've heard other people complain about that too in the main game. I don't know, maybe it's different on PC. I've heard, you know, some people say it's a little bit better on PC in terms of the team balance and people actually playing the objective. But if this is the way the game is going to work, especially on console, I'm really not a fan of that. I don't want to sit there and try to play another glorified team deathmatch. So for those reasons, I'm going to still kind of stay on the fence with Overwatch. Now, I have another video I'm working on where I am possibly going to go straight up PC for gaming in the future, and that's something for another time though. And if I do go to PC, I may consider picking the game up because these games tend to play a little bit better on the PC, especially with mouse and keyboard for aiming, and also the game's a little bit cheaper on PC. Usually games are discounted quite a bit, and like I said, this is just not a game I'd pay full price for or pay anywhere near $60 for. But either way, like I said, enjoyable experience for the most part. Just a couple minor things that I, you know, didn't care for with the game, and I don't think a lot of that's the game's fault. I think it's just not a game for me with the type of content and the basically just lack of team support that I had. I think that's more of an issue with the free weekend. But overall, not a bad experience. Thought it was an interesting game. I thought Blizzard did a really good job with it, especially, like I said, the design, the characters are just wonderful. And it really makes me wish they had gone ahead and gone forward with Project Titan for some reason and made an RPG with these type of characters. It would have been freaking amazing. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for my thoughts on Overwatch. It's actually, I think, one of the better games that's come out this year if we're just talking straight up gameplay and design and whatnot and music and everything. But let me know if you guys tried it out, if you guys took advantage of the free weekend. Let me know if you already play Overwatch and if you enjoy it. Let me know if you play on console or the PC and if you find any difference between the two, especially with the objective play. That's really the main thing that turned me off to the game was still all these objective games. It still seems like there's a bunch of COD people that come into them and still are obsessed with just playing one-on-one and, you know, team deathmatch, even though it's an objective mode. So that's really it. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again next time.
Sniper! Don't worry, my friends. I am your shield. I've got you in my sights. I've got you in my sights. Sweet. Back into the fray.
We need to defend the objective. They're taking the point!
Nice.